So welcome, yogis. Starting on your mats, wherever you feel most comfortable, whether that's a seated position for you or lying down if you need a little bit more rest. Ask yourself whether your body needs a little bit more of a gentle practice today, or how you're feeling charged. How's your battery? And also just having a moment to ground. As you lie there, if your eyes are closed, just imagine you've got tree roots coming through the soles of your feet or your tailbone, wherever you like to imagine it. When I'm seated, I like to imagine them coming from the tailbone, Muladhara, root chakra. When I'm lying down, I tend to sort of think of it from feet. But however that works for you, you could imagine lots of little roots coming through the back of your body. Let yourself feel grounded, and then begin to tune into your breath. Have you noticed your breath today yet? Or is this the first time that you're actually consciously aware of that inhale and the exhale and the outer ends of your breath, whether you breathe fully or whether you're only breathing in half measures and you exhale early, inhale early. It always fascinates me when I do become conscious of my breath, that it actually probably isn't the way I breathe day to day when I'm unconscious and busy with other things. And we'll check through our chakras, so just seeing how the energy is sitting with us in this moment. So bring your awareness to the crown, and just about an inch above the top of the head is where the energy of the crown center is, Sahasrara. If you have a lot on your mind, if there's a lot going on, then sometimes the energy here can feel heavy, like a closed-in pressure feeling. Same with the forehead as well, your third eye. This is linked with your pineal gland, which regulates your sleep-wake activity. So I often, if we're a bit imbalanced here, perhaps sleep has been disrupted or we've had headaches, overthinking, over-anxious. Next, come down to your throat, Vishuddhi. Think of a lovely blue here and linked with your communication. So how are you talking to yourself? What are you observing on the news? What are your friends and relatives saying to you that maybe you want to reply back to or challenge? Or maybe you're holding on to stuff that you don't want to say because you know actually deep down it could hurt someone's feelings. Sometimes all this gets stuck here, and it isn't recent stuff. Often it can be decades of stuff that you've held for somebody. Tune into the heart center, where we hold our emotions, where we have a level of forgiveness, compassion to ourselves and others. So how compassionate are you feeling to yourself today? Do you berate yourself often? Or can you be kind and just let stuff go if it's been annoying you? Next, just draw your awareness to your solar plexus above your navel. This is your center of action. Whether you feel motivated to get on with life, to embrace life, to take life in, or are you just sort of drifting without direction? So noticing now sacral, your lower belly, Swadhisthana, so lower back as well. This is linked with our lower digestive. How do you assimilate life? How do you digest life? If it doesn't digest well for you, if the things you're hearing and seeing are just making you feel sick inside, this can upset our energy here. And often that can lead down with the root chakra at the base of our spine, feeling quite ungrounded and not feeling like your place on the earth feels safe. What's next? What's going to come next that's going to upset us? So different ways of thinking about this energy that I always direct you through. I'm going to lie down with you now and we'll start our stretches. So on your next inhale, taking your right arm up and over. Notice how the movement in the shoulder feels. And then lifting the toes so that we flex into the right foot. Everything on the left is relaxed. And we're just going to stretch here, create a little bit of space, lowering the leg, lifting up the arms, spreading the fingers wide, and just feeling a little bit active through this side. Point the toes now and just a nice stretch over the top of the leg, which engages our stomach meridian. And then when you're ready on your next exhale, just let the arm float down. Palms up just for a second. And then left side, again, taking the time to notice. Is there any difference in the movement with your arm, the shoulder, any aches and pains? Toes lifted on the left foot and enjoying a lovely long stretch here. Pointing toes. And then when you're ready, bring the arm down. Have a moment, just a breath in between. And then both arms over. And again, just flexing feet, pointing toes, flex again. How do you feel? Are you noticing anything new in your body that you perhaps need to be gentle with? And then when you're ready, just exhale, bringing the arms down by the side of the body. Okay, we're going to do a warm-up, but slightly different. So I'd like you to just tilt your head to the right side. Notice the movement that you have here. And then take the head over to the left. Coming back to center. And then imagining your nose as a center point. Just to start to spiral your head round in one direction so that you create nice movement towards your outer circle. And then when you've reached the outer circle, start to spiral the other way inwards. Just gently moving the head. Coming to a stillness. Now just gently rock your head to the right again, noticing if there's any more movement. And over to the left. And coming back to center. We can just do some shoulder shrugs. So lift the shoulders up to the ears and then just rest them down. And we'll just do a few more of these, just little shoulder shrugs. And you can feel your shoulder blades moving and sliding against the mat. Coming to stillness, we can bring hands onto the shoulders and rotate round. It's quite nice to do this movement against the mat, feeling that little bit of resistance and movement, and then just a few times in the other direction. Okay, taking the arms up in front of you, palms can face each other, and then just start to make some circles. And this is a really lovely feeling because you can feel the movement of your shoulder blades rocking as you circle your arms. Take them a little wider. Just notice what you feel. Other way. And again, if you want to, you can sort of make the circles a little bit smaller and notice the subtle movement that you get in the upper back. Interlink your fingers and then turn the palms away from you. Lovely stretch, lifting the shoulders away from the mat. And then you can take the arms overhead. And again, we can come into a nice full body stretch here, maybe making one side longer and then the other. Just a little shuffle from side to side. And relaxing the arms back down to the side of the body. We can draw the right knee in. Take a deep breath as we're familiar with. Exhale as we come up. Holding the breath out for a moment. And then inhaling down. We'll do the same as we usually do. Left side, deep breath. Exhale coming up. And down. Both knees in. Same again, deep breath in. And exhale, squeeze all the breath out. Belly falls back to the spine. And then coming down, just have a nice little rock, that always feels nice. Okay, bring the feet to the mat. We're going to take the right leg up, hold behind your thigh, and then you can just do some ankle circles here, coming into a nice hamstring stretch, and then the other way. Bring the foot across to the left knee, and then curl the hands round the left thigh, hugging in this thread the needle pose. Nice glute stretch here for the buttocks. And then releasing, we're going to just take the left leg up now. Hands around the back of the thigh, starting to circle at the ankle. Stretching the toes out as you do this as well. And then the other way. Bringing that foot across to the opposite knee, and again hugging round that right thigh for a nice glute stretch. Try to relax if you notice that you're quite tight in the muscles here. Some deep breaths. And then releasing. Bring the knees together and then let the toes touch. We're going to come into some hip circles. So hands on the knees, take the knees away from you, out to the sides, draw them back towards the body and then together again. So the feet are still touching, a bit like butterfly, and then we're just rolling on the lower back and pelvis area, making some nice circles with our knees, warming up our hips. And then coming to a stillness, we'll raise the legs, let the arms rest by the sides of the body, and just to warm up the knees, just cycling gently. And then the other way a few times. Okay, and then just hug the knees in for a moment, relax, and then we'll come up to seated. Join me in butterfly. So a little bit different from Paramuktasana 1, which we're familiar with, but it is a nice different way of warming up all of our joints. And because it's different, you're probably a little bit more attentive. Your brain is, oh, what's next? What's going to happen next? How's it going to feel? So just relaxing in butterfly for a moment, just feel into your hips. And then we're going to come on to hands and knees now for a flex into the spine with cat-cow. It's really quite nice to add this into the end part of your warm-up. And before your practice begins, to really notice, so many people have issues with their spine or tenderness in places. So coming into tabletop, hands are beneath your shoulders, knees are under your hips. And then when you're ready, just exhaling, arching into stretching cat. And then on the inhale, belly drops into cow. And this might be the first opportunity for you to really notice any tenderness through your back and where you need to be careful today. Often with the cold, damp weather, I find a lot of people, their aches and pains can be exacerbated. Coming into wild cat-cow, if you want to, start to roll the belly around, making a little bit more of a figure of 8 movement. And in a few times, the other way. Nice stretch into the side of the waist, coming into gallbladder channel. And then rest yourself back into Hasta for a moment, just bringing the forehead down. Nice deep breaths. Okay, lifting head up. Bringing the knees together Toes can turn under as we come into a little toe stretch, and a lovely stretch through the plantar of our feet. It's lovely and stimulating. And then we're going to come to standing for Earth sequence. So just joining me slightly to the left side of your mat. And then we'll make a lovely diamond shape with our fingers. Deep breath in. Look through your diamond, exhale, arms round and down. Inhaling, bringing the hands up to the throat. And then down. Just enjoy this practice as a slow meditation. Notice how it feels through your arms, your elbows, the movement to your shoulders. How much do you stretch into the movement where we take the arms out wide? Right foot to the side, breathing in. Coming into the squat. How do your knees feel as you lower down? Only coming down as much as you can. Listen to your lower back. And then as we come up, we turn to the right. Drawing into heart. Exhale, lean forwards, palms turn away. Leaning back. And arms round and down to the front. As your palms come towards your heart center, just notice what you might feel you need today. And then as we turn the palms away, it's nice to kind of give that same receiving. And then when you're ready, turning to the other side after 3. Into heart. Exhaling. How does your balance feel as you move the weight forwards and backwards? And after 3, just coming back round to the front. Inhale. And then exhale, coming forwards. Coming from your hips, not your waist. Take a lovely moment to pause here in this forward fold, if that feels good, to stretch through the back. And then inhale, coming up. Arms round and down. And then after those 3, we just draw our right foot towards our left. Hands can come to the heart center. It's lovely just to close your eyes for a few moments here. Feel the heartbeat against your thumbs. And just really tune into that center. Have a moment. Let's come back to the mat. Lie down. Take a moment to just observe how that very gentle sequence felt. It probably hasn't got you out of breath. There's a little raised heartbeat, but it has a lovely, peaceful feeling, perhaps flowing through your body. The movement with the arms engages the meridians here, so the heart and the lungs and the large and the small intestine. Notice if your lungs feel a bit more open to breathe. So let's bring these in, right knee and left knee. And we're going to roll up for a kneeling sun salutation. Nice gentle one. So joining on your mat, on your knees. We'll do 3 little rounds of this one because it's quite quick and short. And we'll pause a few times in the balances. So when you're ready, take a nice deep breath in. Exhale. Inhale, salute the sun. Kneeling back. Coming onto all fours. And then raising left arm, right leg, opposite limbs. And lower. Other side. And lower. Kneeling back. Coming up. And then salute the sun. Okay. Working through that one again. Deep breath in. Raising arms. Little back bend here. Kneeling back. Lovely stretch for the knees and over the tops of the ankles. Onto all fours. Neutral spine here, tabletop. Left arm, right leg. Just pause here for a moment. Notice your balance, the weight that you rest into the right hand and how much you're pushing your left foot into the mat. And lower. Other side. Again, are you a little bit wobbly? Can you keep alignment? And then lower. Kneeling back. Lifting up. Salute the sun. Hands to heart. Okay, one more round. Deep breath. It's very gentle, it's very basic, this sequence, but just enjoy the positions we come into. Very gentle back bend here. Kneeling. Gentle stretch and compression into the legs. Onto all fours. Left arm, right leg. Notice your breath. And coming down, other side. How much do you lean? Maybe one side or the other in this pose. Coming down. Kneeling back. And salute the sun. Okay, lovely pose that. Just join me back on in this seated position. This is what we call thunderbolt. This is a pose that actually is a meditative pose. To come into, see another posture, just alteration here. If your knees are comfortable, just see if you can bring the feet just a little bit to the outside of the buttocks. I'll turn sideways so you can see how that looks. So I'm sitting on my heels here, but if you have the rotation in the knees, just coming out to the side for a moment. We won't hold this too long. Just notice if that is something that you can do without pain. And then bringing the feet back together again. Okay. Joining me standing. So we've done a kneeling, very gentle sun salutation. We're going to come into the moon salutation, the more modern version where we flow across the mat. Notice how your knees feel after that little posture, that slight change in where you position your feet, whether they feel the knees feel a bit more active. It's not a pose I want you to do if it actually hurts though. Okay, moon salutation, Chandra Namaskar, hands to heart center. Thinking about your feminine side, this is all linked with our feminine energy. So deep breath in, take the arms up. And then exhale, lean out to your right. Inhale through the center and then exhale to left. Coming back to center. Coming into goddess squat, taking your left foot to the side. Toes are pointing outwards. Coming down as far as you can, feeling it in the thighs, lifting the chest. Lifting up, we're going to turn the right foot in and the left toes out as we lower down into Trikonasana. Nice and slowly, and just feeling into this pose. Really open up your right shoulder if you start to collapse the posture. As if you're being squeezed between two panes of glass. We're going to lower the right arm, and as we do, we're going to bring that right hip forward, send the left hip back into pyramid. Just pausing here for a moment and enjoying this lovely stretch, really grounding your feet. Bending that left knee, we come into a low lunge. Raising the arms into a crescent and dropping the hips. Feeling that lovely stretch through the front of the body, both hip flexors. Bringing the hands down to the inside of the left foot. We're going to rotate the whole of the right leg all the way over, so the toes point upwards, the knee is pointing upwards into this side squat, leg extended. Just pausing here, it's too juicy to ignore that lovely inner leg stretch. Over to the other side. And again, we're stimulating liver, kidneys and spleen. Turning to the opposite side of your mat into low lunge, and then we raise the arms into this lovely crescent. Again, feeling a lovely stretch into your hips. Hands come down. Turn the back toes under, push yourself up into pyramid. And again, just pause to enjoy this lovely stretch. On the exhale, if there is a little bit of movement to bring the chest lower, you can. And then we raise the left arm into Trikonasana. Gazing up. Coming up into goddess squat. Bringing your right foot to your left. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, lean outwards. Inhale through the center. Exhale the other side. Lovely side stretch to the body. This is gallbladder. And coming back. Bring your hands to your heart center. Lovely. Have a moment back on your mat. Noticing the difference in how your energy feels, but whether it has a sort of a gentle, feminine sort of flow to it. Check in with your back. If you need to, just wag your tail, rock the pelvis to find a neutral spine. Relax. Yoga isn't about always being energetic on the mat, getting out of breath. Some practices are very dynamic, if that's what you like, and other practices can be quite gentle and giving you the time to really contemplate how your body feels slowly through your postures. And a lovely pause afterwards to notice your body. Okay, bring knees in. Little rock. We're going to come into cat's tail, which is a lying twist. We won't come into it for too long, so perhaps we won't need any supports and cushions. So what I'd like you to do is to turn onto your right side. This is a lovely yin pose that we do where we hold it for longer. So you're lying on your right side and you bring your left knee over, resting it in front of you, knee in line with your hip, and the lower leg can just rest out. If you can, using your left hand to grab your right foot, you're going to feel a lovely stretch into the quad muscle here. And then you can, from here, start to just roll backwards. As you do, your head will come off of your upper arm that you're resting on. I like to sort of bend at the elbow and just cradle the head with my hand, just so that there isn't any sort of excess tension in your neck. If you are holding the pose for any length of time, then a cushion is nice for your head. So just rolling back into this twist. I want you to notice how this one feels, because we're going to come into some other twists later on. First of all, try to relax your buttocks. Notice if you're all tense here. And then as you relax there, relaxing the waist and your lower back muscles. Focusing on some deep belly breaths. Where do you feel this? Is it lower back? As long as it's not pain, you may just feel sensation. You can feel the stretch. Lovely opening into the left shoulder as well. Just a few more breaths. Just see if you can roll back a little bit more. If you have that space in the body. And then we will come back to lying on the side. Release your foot. Very, very slowly and gently, just come onto your back. Feel the after effects of the twist. So even a very short time in that posture, you can perhaps feel the difference between your left and your right side. Where do you feel coolness or tingling, which is the prana, the chi, just subtly shifting in your body? Take a few deep breaths, let everything start to even out. And then we'll bring knees into chest, have a little rock to massage the back. And then we're going to come into the other side. So I'm going to turn just so that I'm lying now on the left side. Stacking the legs to start with. Bring your right leg in front of you. Rest the knee down, knee in alignment with the hip. Grab your left foot with your right hand. And then just, again, cradling the head and neck with your hand. Just roll back into this twist. You can feel that lovely stretch perhaps in the front of your thigh, your quad muscle around the knee. Relaxing buttocks and lower back. Perhaps even the sides of your waist and your abdomen are tight as well. So just noticing. Take some deep breaths. Notice how the breath sort of moves in your body, whether it feels like it spirals a little bit. If you're holding your foot, try to have a nice relaxed grasp rather than a very tight grip. And with every breath, you might find that your body just starts to sort of twist a little bit more. We'll take one more breath. Gently coming up to lie back on your side. And then rolling onto your back. Take it slowly whenever you come out of a twist to come back onto the mat. Let everything come back into alignment. Have a little wriggle or a shuffle. And now just take the opportunity to feel the difference in the right and the left again. Nice deep breaths. Drawing knees in for a little hug. Rock on your back. So we're going to come into some seated twists. So come up to seated. Legs extended. Pull out the pads of the buttocks so your feet feel connected to the mat. Bending the right leg and bringing the foot over the left knee. So a seated spinal twist here. Have a lovely length in your spine, like someone's put a ruler down your back. Left arm hugs round the front and your right arm comes behind you. Keep that lovely length into the spine before you twist. We don't want to twist into a collapsed spine. And then just looking over your shoulder, use the breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Until you come to that point that you reach. And noticing the difference in this twist, whether you feel a bit more through perhaps the right buttock and thigh. Is it lower back or upper back you notice it? Take a nice deep breath. We're going to come back round to the front. Extend your legs out. Just lean back into the hands for a moment. Just a breath is all you need. Just to notice before we come into the other side. So lifting up again. Left foot over right knee. Lovely tall spine. Really grounding those sit bones into the mat. And then right arm comes round the front. As you do this, try not to collapse the spine. And then left arm behind you. Looking over the shoulder and aware of where your vision extends. Deep breaths. Again, just noticing where you feel it. Are you tense in either of your thighs, your legs? Belly breaths. Take a deep breath in and we'll come back round to the front. Uncross the legs, just again, a moment. I'm very particular about twists, in just having a few moments to let the spine realign. Just lie back for a breath or two. Wag your tail if you need to. And feel the difference from the cat's tail twist to the seated twist, where you feel it in the body. So bringing knees in, gentle rock. And if we were to do a lying spinal twist, that would feel different. If you were to come onto your knees and thread the needle under each arm, that would feel very different as a twist as well. So there are many different yogic twists that can achieve different results depending on where you perhaps need it in the body. Okay. Bring the feet to the mat. We'll do a little flowing bridge before pranayama, breathing practice. So knees are bent, palms are face down at the side of the body, engaging into pelvic diaphragm and the abdominal muscles ever so gently, like a 30% engagement in the muscles there. When you're ready, we're going to breathe in, push through the heels. So inhale coming up. Clenching buttocks, feeling in the thighs, lower back. Exhale, roll down. Just enjoy being very conscious of every vertebrae, coming back down to the mat, rolling out tailbone. And again, just coming up in your own time with your breath. Rolling down. Try to match the movement with the whole length of your exhale and your inhale. So inhale, full breath in as you come up. Maybe there's a pause and an exhale. Nice, slow, controlled breath out as all the vertebrae roll to the mat. Let's just do one more. And then just extend your legs out onto the mat. Just 3 of those that we did, but enjoy that lovely warmth and sensation that you feel in the backs of your knees, thighs, calves. Very stimulating for root chakra, but also the lower ones actually, so sacral, solar plexus. Also your heart and throat, very gently. Okay, bring knees in. Enjoy a lovely rock here and roll in some circles if that feels nice to feel the outer edge of your back. Coming up to seated. Come onto your cushions if you've got meditation cushions. I'd like to do a breathing practice. We'll come into nadi shodhana. It's a really lovely way of balancing the left and the right hemispheres of the brain, the left and right side of the body. Ida and Pingala, the nadis. When you give yourself enough time to do this, even if you were to carve out 5 minutes in your day, purposefully to sit and do alternate nostril breathing, it has profound effects on calming your body. It engages your parasympathetic nervous system, a lovely healthy vagus nerve, so everything is communicating brain to body. It really is very powerful, more than perhaps we realise with just the movement and the breath. So close your right hand, fingers to thumb like a little rosebud. Left hand open, just explore left nadi. Close the eyes. And then swap sides, close the left hand, open the right. Notice the flow of the breath, if it feels clear or resistant. And then we'll close the right hand. We'll begin with the left hand open, so breathing in. Close your left hand, open the right, exhale. Breathe in through the right. Close and exhale. And after a while, you will notice it almost feels like you're breathing just through one nostril. Feeling that coolness as you breathe in and the warmth as you breathe out. Try to draw your awareness to your third eye, just gazing ahead. Relax your shoulders, relax your whole face. There's always a few little muscles engaged. Really follow your breath, the breath in your belly. If you ever have any times when you're anxious, feeling overwhelmed, the body comes into stress, sympathetic system. This is a wonderful practice to do. Calms everything. Let's just do one more round together. And you can just gently blink your eyes open, rest your hands for a moment. How does that feel? It's a beautiful practice to share with other people. I've often taught people suffering with all sorts of things. Anybody who is under medication, that has to see doctors frequently, who gets quite anxious going to the dentist or anything, you can teach them that. And it's just a powerful tool for them to regain their own confidence back in themselves, to be able to relax themselves. They don't have to go and take a tablet or anything. They can just sit, even if it is 1 minute of just doing that, has lovely effects on the body. Calms everything, balances everything. So, lovelies, if you'd like to come into relaxation position, lying on the floor, get yourself lovely and cozy and warm. If you prefer seated, again, perhaps a blanket over you. You may notice there's quite a few programs at the moment about a lot of the situations people are finding themselves in, health conditions, diabetes, depression, all sorts of different anxieties. A lot of people go straight for the pills. And it occurred to me as I was watching these programs that some of the things that people have done, holistic things, natural things, whether it's go for a walk in nature, sit and breathe, or do a form of gentle exercise, so much of it is so very related to what yoga does for you as well. So it really is a healing modality, this practice of movement, breath, mindfulness, meditation. So relaxing, my lovelies, as I read you a little passage I came across. This is All Life is Yoga by David Frawley. All life is yoga, which means unification. We are all striving, according to our understanding, to become one with the real, the good, the source of happiness. All individual life aims consciously or unconsciously at reintegration with the cosmic life. We are all striving to expand our frontiers and increase our connections in order to find wholeness and peace. Yoga is not a new path to follow, but a way to become conscious of the original impetus of life. Yoga is the movement and evolution of life itself. All physiological problems arise, ultimately, from a misapplication of the energy of consciousness. Instead of uniting with the eternal inner reality in which is lasting joy, we attach ourselves to transient external objects whose fluctuations bring pain. The practice of yoga, or inner integration, reverses all psychological problems by merging the mind back into its immutable source of pure consciousness, in which resides perfect peace. So a lovely way of realizing that yoga is a path to peace and balance. Just have a few moments as you lie here, just to inquire within. Let your inner dialogue narrate to you what yoga does for you in your life. If someone were to take yoga away, how would that feel? What would you miss physically, mentally, emotionally, and also spiritually? How does it keep you perhaps sane or peaceful or balanced? Very gently, without it moving yet, just bring your awareness back to your body and to where you are in the room. If you can, try to remember the last thoughts you had before they perhaps disappear. Take a nice deep breath. And begin to start to wiggle fingers and toes. Maybe taking the arms overhead, coming into a full body stretch. And then you can draw knees into chest. Have a moment to rock or roll and enjoy how it feels on the back. Enjoy being in your body. Enjoy being you. And then in your own time, just rolling up to seated, we will chant our 3 Oms. As you come to seated, having a moment to just imagine the roots from the tailbone burying deep into the earth again. And then we can draw the hands to Chin Mudra. Let the eyelids close and taking a nice deep breath in. Just enjoying that lovely vibration in your body. Bringing hands together, rubbing the palms, feeling the heat start to generate. And then palm the eyes, blinking gently, letting the warmth through, letting the light through, and then hands to heart center. Om Shanti. Namaste.